Alright, so today on Bending with Bendon, we're going to be bending a 2016 Volvo. It was wrecked pretty bad. We replaced the frame rail on it. We're going to bend the other rail and straighten her up. So stay tuned, like, share, subscribe. You guys know what to do. Here we go. Replace this frame rail right here on the left side of the truck. Now, I'll show a little video of what it looked like after when we took it out and everything. We're gonna take it across the street. We got our own machine, and Volvos have a different frame design than most other trucks. The frame itself is not actually straight once you get in front of the cab. The frame spreads out and has a bend in it already. Okay, now right here, as you can see here, this part of the frame should be straight. So it is pushed over in the front right here a little bit. Now, as you see further back, you can see how the frame is kind of an S shape, dogs like this way and back out straight. And once you get to the cab, now the frame rails on these are closer together in the back than the like Freightliners, Peterbilts, or whatever.
Turn on the power.
This ain't gonna work without no music. On our front gauge, we went ahead and pulled the grease zerd out on the front spring pin. We went inside there, okay? Now this cross member is really what needs to be in line with everything down the frame. This cross member, if it's in line and square with the rest of the frame going down, okay, then you know your front is going to travel with your back straight. Now if we look down our gauge, you can see we're quite a bit off here. This is going to be a pretty far bend. We're off about easily 4 or 5 inches. Crazy. They have to go across the street and get stuff. Oh my God. The shop is all the way over here. Way over there. Back over in the dungeon. I'm gonna set this bad boy up, see what we can do. Now, line our gauges up, front to back. We're gonna push the center of this truck over. Now, Volvo frames are really light, especially in the newer models like they are now, okay? So, right here, dead leg, okay? I'm gonna go from the other side and push this way, okay? And then I'm gonna start right here in front of that tandem with a hard leg. Okay, now, depending on how it moves, we may move this around, we may move the other one around, okay? Here we go. Steering gear so we can get behind it, push directly against the frame. Right next to the cross member. Now, let's take this thing apart. Roll with a high speed. Here we are on the front. So what we're gonna do on the front is, and here we got this cool little plate. Put it right here on the beam. Okay. Now, we're gonna put a jack right here. Push up on the bottom of the frame right here. Front right here with our jack, what we did was we put a this piece which sits on top of this beam, shim, jack, homemade spacer, goes over the bolt so it doesn't shoot out. We put pressure on here. This isn't moving, so put pressure on here, jack it up a little bit so that way it keeps the frame from pushing up or pushing down as we push over. Here we go. Put a little pressure on there. Push it out, push it out. That'll be good now. Alright, here we go.
Make some noise! DJ Space Rider is on to business. Put your hands in the air!
Alright, so these are some of the parts right here. This goes on here. Helps hold the cylinder on. Put it about there. Here. Get the cylinder. Sit in there. Like so. And we gotta turn our hose so it's not gonna catch on anything. That. Okay. Then take this goes on here. It's adjustable. See? Position. This, find the hole. There it is. Then we got some shims and stuff that we'll put in here, shim this up. You have to make sure that you don't put it in the wrong spot. You want to get as close to the cross member as possible and go outside of the frame rail. Before we do that though, we got to come over here to the other side and make sure we got room to put a shim on this side. So we'll put a shim back here, right here. Then we'll check our gap on the other side. You also got to put one in here. Alright, shim right here. Shim it out. Alright. Pushing leg. There. Ta-da. Shim in the back. Hard leg. Now the compressor's screaming. You got to tighten belts up on it. Jeez. Ain't one thing, it's nothing. Alright, so here we just move everything with hydraulics, okay? We're gonna tighten up this compressor with this little hydraulic ram right here. Let's see how well this works out. How tight should we get in? Oh, come on, man, really? Smooth like Nitro Pepsi. Now, ain't nothing to do but to bend it. We pushed down a little bit. It's not bending the way we want it to bend. So we're gonna move this dead leg right here to the very back of the truck here. Right here. All right.
Come on!
Well, okay, so we were pushing and we heard a little pop sound and we were like, okay, let's stop. So, we were in here a little too snug and we wound up breaking the little nozzle off this cross member down at the bottom. The way it's shaped, it's not very straight, it's not very strong. So we're gonna put a ram in here and put pressure outward to help support this, so that way this thing doesn't collapse. Because right here, if you push too hard, it'll fold up and actually collapse. So we're gonna put this little ram right here in between the frame rail, put some pressure on it. For the depth system here. Don't do that. Crap. As you can see here, gauge has got a little bit better. Still way out up in the front. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna move this leg right here, pushing leg, back because we're pushing too close to the motor mount at the moment, and it seems to be putting the front more in a bind with the engine. We're not getting the movement that we want. So we're gonna move it back here by this cross member. Gotta have that music while we're working. So we pushed on her a little bit. We're gonna check her out. Let's see what she looks like. Well, she's definitely coming in some. So we are bending her, but the back seems to be bending faster than the front. So, all right. So what we found was a hidden buckle. All right. I guess you can see that there, buckled up inside. So what we're gonna have to do is we're gonna have to take this hanger off, cross member support here, bracket down. We're gonna have to do a lot more stuff. We're gonna loosen all this off. We're gonna bend it here first, right here, and then we're gonna move back, try and straighten this rail up and hope the other rail follows. Well, our front rail right here is not at the right angle. So this here is not bent properly. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put a hard leg right here and we're gonna bend this front of this open, okay? I'm gonna loosen off all these cross member bolts because this cross member seems to be collapsing. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of extra work. Okay, a lot of extra work. We'll go ahead and loosen off on all 4 motor mount bolts. We're not gonna take them out, we're just gonna loosen them up so we can get a little more play in the engine. So that way we don't bust the front motor mount. There's a lot of times we gotta take a whole bunch of crap off this thing. So, already the motor mount bolts out, we gotta pull the exhaust out.
Turn on the power.
That was a lot of crap. Oh, look at all this stuff. There's a whole lot going on right here. Okay, whole lot going on. We were pushing earlier, and you can see how our machine has jumped over. Our machine jumped over probably about right there. So she jumped over probably about a good 8 inches. So we've got all this stuff hooked up now. We pushed on it quite a bit here and got it straighter. We've got this first bin back here to open up a little bit. Okay. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna move all this down back where it was. Now we cut the bracket off, the front cross member, and start pushing right here. Remove this cross member bracket. There's our buckle. It's pretty big right there. So, and it's right here where it wishbone's out. So, you're gonna push right here, holding the front, and then allow it to pull the front around. Hopefully we got enough room and she don't jump off the machine. Alright, so we're way past now. And she still won't stay, so let's beat off some stuff. Got a lot of pressure on this thing. Let's see what happens. Don't do that. So we're gonna make this part 2 to this. So like, share, subscribe. We'll see you later, and watch my next video.